What's up, y'all? This is Hammer here again, back with another video. And today I'm going to be talking about a strange situation that's happening, and I don't even know how to cover this. I don't even know where to begin. So, essentially, what's happening is that you have a group of black women that are making a campaign nationally because they're saying there is not enough black male sperm donors. Now let me say it again in case you guys didn't hear me, okay? You have a group of black women that are making a campaign because there is not enough black male sperm donors, right? And when I first came across this story, I was like, what? Oh, if these ladies are looking for sperm, there's a whole lot of dudes out here who will give them to them freely, right? You know, the guys who are on the streets, we know this. But it looks like we have went from women, being made single mothers till now they just want to be single mothers. It's like I never thought I would live in a situation. I never thought I would see the day where women are actively trying to have kids by themselves. But of course, we know why, right? The reason why they're doing this is because they know there's an entire social infrastructure, right? From WIC to child support, all of these systems that essentially help them facilitate this. Because let's be honest here, if all that stuff got taken away, if child support got taken away, if WIC got taken away, if all this welfare got taken away, they will not be able to be having kids on their own, right? If the jobs got taken away. But it's crazy because they have a lot of these ladies have been saying for years how dudes out here are deadbeat dads and how they're quote unquote leaving their kids. And look, some of them are, but how did you ladies go from, you guys are being made single mothers, guys out here are dusty. How did you go from that to you want to be a single mother by choice? That's a new trend now. Like you have women saying they want to be a single mother by choice. And I'm just like, ladies, by you guys doing this, you're essentially delegitimizing your entire point about guys being deadbeat dudes. Because now you're actively going the way. But see, the crazy part is now they're complaining that guys are not giving up the sperm to sperm banks so they can be single mothers by choice. It's crazy. Before I get into the video, let's go to our intro. All right, guys, let's get into it.
Welcome back. This morning, we continue our coverage of fertility. As more women of color turn to sperm banks in the wake of this pandemic, they face a nationwide shortage of donors who may share their background. CBS News analyzed the numbers at 4 major U.S. cryobanks where the sperm is donated. We found that 53% of available sperm is from white donors, while listen to this number, less than 4% is from black donors. Our new CBS News correspondent, that's Chanel Call, is here with more. Chanel, good morning to you and welcome. Welcome to the table.
Thanks for the warm welcome.
Now, keep this in mind, okay? They're not making a campaign about colorism. They're not making a campaign about, black hair discrimination. No, they're making a campaign because a lot of you black men, y'all need to be out here donating your sperm to sperm banks. What? But it's like, haven't y'all been complaining this whole time about, dudes being deadbeat dads, being dusty, making black women single mothers? But now you're going to turn around and advocate for black women to be single mothers by choice? But see, look, ladies, let me answer your question. The reason why, first of all, there are 2 reasons why, right? The 2 reasons why black men, such little black men, right, are actually given the sperm to sperm banks, right? The first reason is demographic, which is that black men make up a smaller population in general. So by default, you're going to have less of them, right? But the second reason is that, let's keep it real. In the United States, black men understand they are an underclass group. They are constantly ruled by the majority white male population. And so it's like almost every aspect of their life is being controlled by another group of people, right? Economically, socially, politically, you name it, right? And it's like the only thing black men seem to really have control over in the United States is their own bodies. And so for them, because we don't have control over the America's economy, we don't have control of America's social system, we don't have control of America's political system, the only thing we have control over is our bodies, and that's the one thing we refuse to get control over. And then that's the reason when it comes to black men, they're more hesitant because, hey, that's one of the few things I have control over, and I'm not gonna give it up. So for y'all to now be advocating, for dudes, for black men to give more sperm so y'all can be single mothers by choice, is crazy to me.
This is a really important story.
Yes.
And unfortunately, it's a heartbreaking reality for so many women across the country who just want to have a child that reflects their own race and culture. The lack of options forces many of them to choose between having a child that doesn't look like them or not having a baby at all.
This is very crazy because, once again, I agree with that sentiment, but, I can't help but wonder if a white person said what she just said, they'll be called racist, right? Because one thing I've noticed, especially now, especially like a lot of like mainstream networks, is that whenever somebody says that they prefer being with their own group, like they get attacked as being racist or you're a white supremacist or something, right? That's what I hear a lot now, and it's like, no. As a black person, as a black man, I want my kids to look like me. I want to be with a black woman. That's the reality, right? And that should not be shame. Like I've literally had people try to shame me because I said I prefer black women. I want black kids. I want my kids to look like me, right? And so it's crazy how when a lot of guys are saying this, they get attacked, but when women say it's okay. But let's keep going.
Jamila.
And another thing to keep in mind is that this also fuels a lot of the right-wing debate, because when a lot of white conservatives see how, hey, other groups of people can talk about how they want their kids to look like them, but then when they say the same thing, they get called white supremacists. This is what fuels this whole right-wing. This is what fuels white conservatives, right? So we got to be honest here.
Galloway grew up in a family that celebrated being black.
Enjoying soul food and having our slang and having our words that we, say that's like just very, very black.
When you started this whole process, what did you imagine your child would look like?
Me. Like exactly like me. I already thought they were gonna just be the mirror image of a young Jamila. And that included being 100% black.
Now, at 40 and single, Galloway.
My question is this, lady. So if you wanted a child that looked like you, why couldn't you go and find a black man? Why are you 40 years old? See, here's the thing. Look. I've already said this, okay? If you're a man or a woman, I would say both, and you reach 40 without any children, at that point, you're going to have to accept the fact that you're probably not going to have any kids. Now, a man can always go and get a younger woman, but the problem is that if you're a 40-year-old man, that's not wise, because if you get a chick pregnant at 40, right? Sorry, y'all. But if you're if you're a man who's 40 years old, that's not why. Because look, if you're a 40-year-old man and you get a chick pregnant, right? And she's younger. Think about this. By the time your child is 20, you would be 60 years old. Like, you'll literally be too old to raise that kid. Maybe even retire at that point. So it's like even though men still are able to get some woman pregnant, it's still not wise to have a kid that late. My thing is, why, like, based on what I'm seeing, it's hard for me to believe that you're a virgin. So you probably have some guys who are, running through you, digging you down. So you're gonna get one of these dudes to bust in you. I don't understand. How can a woman who from 18 to 25 is getting all this attention, how did you find yourself 40 years old and childless? And now you're asking for a black man to put the sperm in sperm banks so you can be a black single mother by choice? This is crazy to me.
always using a sperm donor to get pregnant, but when she filtered the search for donors of her own race, the number of options went from hundreds to a handful.
It literally felt like you were on a hunt. It almost felt like I was having a bit of my decision taken away from me.
Dr. Tia Jackson Bay.
What do you mean your decision taken away from you? You're trying to take away this. You're trying to take away the decision of other black men because they're deciding no. In the society, the very few things we have control over, and the one thing we have control over is our bodies, and that's one thing we're not gonna give up easily. But you want to take that away from them? Come on.
A New York City fertility doctor says every patient of color at her practice has shared that struggle.
I thought people were exaggerating, and it turned out that that's just not true. When you filter by things like race or geographic location or language, country of origin, the numbers go from thousands down to less than 100.
According to our analysis of the country's 4 largest cryobanks, less than 4% of available sperm is black.
Why are we seeing such low numbers when it comes to racial donors?
You know, historically, donors have been recruited from places where maybe black men are not present, you know.
Like I said before, and it's crazy this conversation is being had. And I have to say this again, right? Remember, if you had white males, if you had Fox News or, white conservatives talking about how they want to have, kids that look like them, they want people that look like them, or they want to have, sperm, white male sperm, folks would be calling them racist. Oh my God, you guys are white supremacists. But I said, look, okay, it's not them being white supremacists. People in general, human beings of all races, right, naturally want people to look like them. That's the reality. Now, there's a difference, and this is where the separation happens, right? There's a difference between you wanting to be with someone of your own group, wanting your kids to look like you. There's a difference between that and you wanted to kill somebody else because they look different. Two different things. Because what typically happens is it's not just that white folks want your kids to look like them. They also want to kill other groups too, right? But nevertheless, at the end of the day, even the mainstream media is here admitting that all this promotion of interracial marriage, all this promotion of mixed kids, once again, that's a false image. The vast majority of people in America, the vast people date and marry within their own group. The vast majority of folks don't want to have mixed kids. They don't want to have kids. They want to have kids that look like them. And it's like, why is it that when white people say this, they get it? Now, here's the thing. I kind of understand why, because white people have a history of, Jim Crow and slavery, right? But once again, it's not just them, okay? Every group around the world wants kids that look like them. They want to be with their own group. Very few folks want mixed kids. And so I'm at least happy that for once, the mainstream media is at least acknowledging this fact. And ladies, please, stop glorifying single motherhood, okay? Because this is going to undermine your arguments. Because you can't complain about guys being dusty, deadbeat dudes, broke, and then turn around and say you want to be a single mother by choice. Come on, ladies. But anyway, y'all, I'm going to leave it up there. You guys, tell me in the chat what you guys think about the video. Any questions you have, make sure to comment, make sure to comment down there. And like, share, and subscribe. Hammer out.